Russell, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Really good to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, you are one of the best approach play golfers in the world, but specifically from 75 to 100 yards, you are number one. Number one. So we want to pick your brains and hopefully share some wisdom and some information that hopefully can help some of our viewers with this.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
So we've got 100 yards here to the first flag on the right. Talk us through what you see and how do you go about getting it close on this one?
It's 7 yards on, 6 from the right.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so 6 from the right, I'm not really concerned with missing it right. I feel like if I'm gonna miss it that far right with this shot, I don't. That's a very bad shot for how much I practice my wedges. But to me, that's more of a green light pin versus if it was 3 from the right. So I would just be going pretty much at it. And I would pick the side of the hole with the better putt. I kind of see my wedges in 5-yard increments. I was practicing my wedges, I don't know how long ago, and it was like 97. And it's like, I don't know what a 97 swing is, but I feel like if I can practice in 5s, this is my 90 feeling swing, this is my 95 feeling swing. That way I can be a little more confident and simple in kind of how I have all these, so I have like 3 or 4 shots with this wedge and I have 3 or 4 with the other, and that gives me a wide range that I can adjust. So this one, 98, I'll just have a neutral path and try to take it back to what feels like about 100 yards. So like I kind of feel like I go like 90, 95, 100. I feel like I didn't quite hit it. Yeah.
Yeah, by the time that spins back, it might be a little short, but yeah, that's not far off.
That was about like more like 94, maybe 95.
Have a look at the number.
94, yeah.
94, yeah.
So
that's when you know you're really good. You mentioned where you want to putt from next, so where's the best putt?
Right.
What do you mean by a good putt? What does that look like there?
Yeah, just the uphill putt. I mean, I'd rather have a 10-footer straight up the hill than a 6-footer downhill with a bunch of break on it.
Yeah.
It's just the percentages go up. And so I can hit that putt a little harder and it's going to hold its line better. And so if I can have an idea of where I'm going to putt from, that's a big advantage.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say this as well, because a lot of people would say that pin high is something we should always strive for. But if the green is pitched from back to front, you want to be short because you're giving yourself that uphill putt. I know a lot of the putting coaches who looked at what Jordan Spieth did when he was putting out of this world, they saw he had a really high percentage of straight putts. You know, so he was hitting it into good areas.
It's just an easier putt to execute, less break, and you can hit it a little harder.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So your 3 different backswings that you mentioned, how would that work with the clock system?
I just practice 90% of the time, like 3 to 4 with each wedge. Okay. So like I'm going to practice with this wedge a 90, which is, I guess that'd be 9 o'clock. A 95 would almost be like 9:30.
Yeah.
Sorry, so specific. 100 would be closer to the 10, and then 105 would be like 10:30. So I mean, it's kind of small, but it just gives me my practice swing kind of like, okay, I'm going there, I'm going there.
So we've got 100 yards here. Is there any separation between the technique here compared to, let's say, 160, 170 yards?
The biggest thing I changed with wedges, and all wedges, I choke down about 1 inch on all of them, even on full shots. I just feel like it allows me to have better contact and through the ground. It kind of shallows the contact just a little bit. And for some reason, I don't know why, it makes me feel like I use my body better. I feel like it takes away any hinge.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a little hinge, but like, I'm not trying to like hinge the club that much. But yeah, choking down, I'm making more like half aggressive swings, 3/4 feeling swings, compared to like an 8 or 6 or 5 iron, not choking down typically, you know, kind of doing the full wind up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a little bit more control and sort of touch.
Yeah.
And you're looking to create a little bit less, let's say, movement with the hands.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you do different in the setup and the stance?
It's not a full 55 for me, but I guess I'd be a little more narrow. I feel like the ball's middle. Usually what feels middle to me, I look on camera and it's a little back.
Okay.
And then I've tried to kind of shape wedges, like if there's a right pin, cut it, left pin, draw it. But really to get the best number every time, I try to hit them all pretty neutral. Neutral to just little draw, but I'm not trying to curve it, but it just feels neutral. And so I'm just trying to hit them all the same, and I like seeing them kind of flat. Like I don't like to hit big, high, spinny wedges. I like kind of flat ones, and I know I can hit my number. And then if the greens get really firm, then I'll just hit a bigger shot, a bigger wedge with more spin.
Let's hit another shot, because I know you want to hit it a little closer than that. I can tell. You know, your standards are pretty high. So let's go same flag again there.
I take a practice swing That felt about 100 right there. That was a little better. It's probably still a little short.
Yeah,
it
just
was
a touch.
little
A lot of,
short.
again, loads of spin on that. You can see there.
92, 92. So your height was 53 on that one and 52 on the other one.
Oh, wow.
So you've kept that real similar. The launch, 23.6 and 23.4.
Yeah.
So you're literally in these windows now of like repeatability all the time. Like it spins both in the 10,000s. So, you know, it's the same for the most part when you're hitting it.
When I choke down, I feel like it allows me to launch that ball low every time. You could tell me probably why that works better than I can tell you.
And there can easily be some technical reasons, like it's going to help you hit it low on the blade. It helps the handle get lent forward a little bit more. But ultimately what it's doing is it's sending a signal to your brain that goes, I know what happens now when I do this.
Exactly.
It's like the intention is now set. I choke down. Oh, that means it's going lower.
Yeah.
So your brain's already played the shot in its mind already. So yeah.
I think the one thing I like from here, where the amateur golfers will go wrong from this yardage, they'd maybe pull out the most loft and go, I can get it there, I can do a full swing and do everything that I would normally do, and then struggle with location, struggle with the height.
Yeah.
You're swinging very comfortable with a 55 degree, knowing that you're going to strike it, knowing it's going to be repeatable here. I think there's so many lessons in that. If the average golfer was to go, let me hit a 50 degree from here, let me hit a pitching wedge and have more of a controlled motion as opposed to trying to do what they would do back there.
Yeah, to me, less loft is just guaranteeing more consistency with spin and flight, and just makes it easier. That was a little better. It's getting hit a little bit.
Yeah, you can see that's nice.
That's beautiful.
We look at the number on that, there we go, 97.
Yeah, that's really good.
97, and
That's
again,
nice.
you look at the spin, it's within 200 of the last one. So that tells us that the strike was almost identical to the first two.
Real consistent. All right, so we've moved up, we're closer. So we've got 80 yards to this front flag. As we know, you've got a little bit of room on the green, but not loads, but the wind's kind of picking up a little bit now into and off the left. We know the chances here are that we could spin it too far back. Is there anything you do different here, or?
If I did feel like it was enough for it to kind of rip back with the lob wedge, I could definitely chip the 55, you know, use more loft, take the spin off. But for this one, I could probably just hit it past the pin and know it's going to spin just a little bit, but I would definitely flight it down. Hit an 85 shot, and I would just move the ball a half ball back. Same shot.
So it's almost like you've got this matrix of these swing lengths that you know fit, and then you've got these little adaptations of ball position and just trying to knock it a little bit low maybe, or a little bit higher if it requires around it.
Exactly, and the reason I like 85 with flight, let's just say I don't hit my number and I hit it 80 with flight, that ball's probably not going to spin quite as much and it's still going to bounce out and stop. So I feel like if I hit an 85 with flight or 80, I could end up in the generally the same area.
Giving you a margin for error, hasn't it? Which is beautiful.
Yep. And that one probably felt like 80, but
Beautiful.
That's nice.
You can see it's
Plenty
ripping
of
back
control
there.
on that one.
yeah.
And almost that first bounce, because it's coming in flatter. Yeah, it's 40 feet high, 45 feet high. So it's coming in flatter, which is going to be a bigger skip forward, and then it sort of,
And
then you get the spin.
79. And that's how tuned in. You knew as soon as you hit it, you're like, okay, it's probably around about 80.
Yeah.
That's how tuned you in off the distance. Look at the spin again, though. You know, super high, strike is consistent.
Yeah, I got an awesome lesson from Jim McClain a couple of years ago. He was watching me hit wedges, and he said, I think it'd be helpful if you try to hit a number, and right after you hit it, you say what you think it is, and then you can look and see what it was. And that's just gonna get you your brain working a little more. So I always like to, after I hit it, guess and then look.
Let's do that on the next one.
Let's
I'll
do
let you
that
do that next one.
Well, let's go back left on this one. So that's 100. Now the scenario on this one is you've got 6 yards past the flag, but it's all like this.
Yeah.
So first of all, what's your strategy play? And we'll have the same wind, obviously.
Yeah, obviously you can't go long, but into the wind, and it looks like there's pitch short of the screen. If I'm really feeling like this is a pin that I want to attack, which at 100 yards I do.
Yeah.
I could do two different shots. So the 55 on soft conditions with this type of wind, I feel with that much pitch on the green, I think would spin too much. And sometimes hitting that shot, knowing it's going to spin and taking 15, 18 feet isn't the worst thing. But if I need it, I'm trying to make the cut or trying to win the tournament or whatever it is, I'll probably choose a 51 degree.
Yeah.
Take the spin off
So
and be able
flatten
to
it off.
hop, stop, and get it right next to the hole.
Nice, nice. Let's do it.
100 yards, and I feel like it's a little into the wind. I want this to probably land 95.
Okay.
It's a little into the wind, so I'm just gonna play it at a 100-yard shot. That's a lot off of 51 for me, So it's going to take a lot of spin off, but it's still long enough to where it'll check.
What's the normal number on a full shot for this?
I can hit it 120.
So a 120 shot, and we're trying to hit it 100, which
100,
is crazy, isn't it?
So I'm just shortening my backswing, you know, to about right there.
What's the number?
94.
I mean, it's such a good
Beautiful shot. Look how low that was.
Oh, 91.
Close, 91.
91. Where do you see the average golfer go wrong on both of these flags? Maybe let's pick the front right one first of all.
Yeah, I mean, I think they pick lob wedge, and I think they hit it too high. I think you got to figure out a way to create shaft lean, but with rotation to get the club out of the ground.
Yeah.
I'm not a very technical guy. I don't really understand a lot of the golf swing and how the club works, but I do know that for me, choking down, having an abbreviated swing on both sides, and just feeling like I'm using my body, just simplifies my contact.
And how about that back flag there? Where do you think a golfer could go wrong with that one?
I think they'd probably just be like, oh, it's into the wind, and try to hit something really hard, and if they might go through the wind or hit it too far, or it might land and just rip.
Yeah. If we were in a situation here where we were caddying for an average golfer, we'd be like going, well, you can probably hit that 20 feet right of the flag and about 15 feet short, and that would be a really nice spot in that situation.
Okay, let's head into some rough.
I will say, before you get there, Andy picked both of those lies, so I have nothing to do with those lies.
This obviously looks pretty bad. It's buried a little bit.
Yeah.
This sometimes can also be a little dangerous because it's lying that good, but there's a fair bit of air underneath that.
Right.
What was the yardage?
75 and
75
95.
to 95. Let's talk through how you'd play both these shots and what differences you'd do.
So the big thing I do on really tough lies in the rough that are sitting down is I try to hit a cut shot. Just come over the top of it just a little bit. I feel like that allows me to get to the ball, get more ball with a steeper angle without having to think too much about it. And then it also makes me want to hold the face, which is important through the rough. This thick rough's going to make the face want to turn over.
Yeah.
So if I hit a little cut shot, just feel like I'm coming like 1 degree over the top of it. I feel like that creates better environment for contact. So I probably can't land this ball on the green and stop it. So it might be, if it was really firm, I could take the lob wedge and almost land at 65, kind of make that my number. Because if it does land short and stops, it's fine.
Yeah.
And if it lands short and bounces up, it's great. But I think you got to land this ball short. Yeah, I think I would take the lob wedge, and say I want to fly at 65. I would probably feel like that's about a 75-yard shot.
Okay.
Okay, so I do a 75-yard swing, kind of get that on my clock system, and then I would try to come over the top of it just a little bit.
Ball back still?
Yep, ball back, a little cut.
You can see wanting to release a little bit up there.
Yeah,
Right, so there's no real danger there. It was a little shorter than you wanted, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But there was no real danger in that shot, was there?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I probably chunked it just a little bit. Probably wasn't quite the best swing, but that was kind of what I thought would happen. Kind of a high launch, rolls up the face, comes out shorter and tumbles.
61, it's carried. It's probably gone
65, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably gone 60. It's gone 65. So a 10-yard shot, a 30-foot pitch, little chip is going to be pretty simple compared to something that you nuke and it doesn't spin and it runs out and it goes past like 50 feet past the flag.
100%. From here, it's a game of where you want to miss the ball. This one, to me, since it's kind of down grain, the grass is with you, you're going to probably get a better strike on the ball. So I wouldn't feel like I needed to hit a cut shot and hold the face here. I don't think this grass is going to do a ton. It's sitting up high. The only thing I would be concerned about is if it was a super dry day and it was almost like a wispier grass, if that would make it a flyer.
Okay.
It's another reason why I personally like not hitting super hard shots, like just ripping them with a wedge in my hand out of the rough. I want to be aggressive, but I don't mind hitting them, trying to almost err on the lower shot when I have a lie like this.
Yeah.
To take away from that ball going too far.
Yeah, you don't want to kill the spin and it just sort of nuke through the back of the green.
Yeah, so I'm going to plan on this coming out pretty normal in terms of distance-wise, but I think there's going to be a little less spin. So I'm going to land on the front, so what was 75, he's 7 on, so 68, so I probably need to, so I'll just call this like a 70-yard shot. If it does run past, that's fine. So 70-yard shot here, flying at 2 on, going right at it.
That sounded nice.
I felt like 72.
Yeah.
Could be in.
That's pretty good.
Going on at what it was, 73. You were 1 out. You were 1 out.
You're pretty good at that. Look, I mean, that's awesome. I think the one thing that I really like about this is, number one, you're reading the lie in all of these different situations. You're looking at the shot that's required, the specificness of where you want the ball to be next. And then you've got a system to fit to that. And I think that's just crucial for anyone watching this.
And I think the biggest thing that the amateurs can take away from watching this is, for me, the trajectory that you hit it on as well. Yeah. It's way more predictable, a little bit less loft, get it on the green relatively quick, and just don't overcomplicate it.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions down below, leave them there. And also, if you want more from us, check out meandmygolf.com. We have a plan to suit every part of your game. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.